Hi, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to another live. Yay, with me. So, I hope you all are doing all right on this Monday. My name is Alicia Renice. I'm a singer songwriter, a hobbyist, a looper. And today I'm going to loop some songs for you all, and we're going to have some conversation and have a good time. So, yay, I hope you enjoy. And yay, welcome. All right, here we go. All right, let's do this. And yeah, welcome. Let me know where you're watching from, all that good stuff. Here we go. what you want anytime you want it. I'm lying here, waiting, my dear. You can get what you want anytime you want it. I'm lying here, waiting, my dear. You can get what you want anytime you want it. Here, waiting, my dear. You can get what you want anytime you want it. I'm lying here, waiting, my dear. You can get what you want anytime you want it. I'm lying here, waiting, my dear. You can get what you want anytime you want it. I'm lying here, waiting, my dear. You can get what you want anytime you want it. I'm lying here, waiting, my dear. You can get what you want anytime you want it. I'm lying here, waiting, my dear. You can get what you want anytime you want it. I'm lying here, waiting, my dear. You can get what you want anytime you want it. I'm lying here, waiting, my dear. You can get what you want anytime you want it. I'm lying here, waiting, my dear. You can get what you want anytime you want it. I'm lying here, waiting, my dear. You can get what you want anytime you want it. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna do, baby. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna do, baby. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna do, baby. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna do, baby. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna do, baby. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna do, baby. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna do, baby. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna do, baby. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna do, baby. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna do. You can get what you want anytime you want it. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna do. You can get what you want anytime you want it. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me what you wanna do. Everything what you want anytime you want it. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me everything what you want anytime you want it. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me everything what you want anytime you want it. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me everything what you want anytime you turn off the lights. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me everything what you want anytime you turn off the lights. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me everything what you want anytime you turn off the lights. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me everything what you want anytime you turn off the lights. Tell me what you wanna do. Tell me everything what you want anytime you want it. Turn off the lights. I'm lying here, waiting, my dear. You can get what you want anytime you want it. I'm lying here. everybody. Welcome. Let me turn down this reverb. Hi, everybody. Welcome, Jamile CP. Welcome, Jennifer, sorry. King Julian, hi. Aileen, welcome. Wingable 500. Kira, please tell me if I'm saying that right. This reverb is very high. Okay, is that better? Yay, Barbara, welcome. Aw, thank you. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate that. Hi, Shelby, welcome. Thank you. Marcus, yay. Thank you so much. Y'all are so sweet. Oh, yay, awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Okay, so if you didn't hear earlier today, I had a little mishap with my loop station, and I posted about it on Instagram, but basically I was recording music, and I came up with this good loop, and I was like, oh my God, I want to save this and use this later, and then I accidentally reset my device, like the manufacturer's reset, so I lost everything. So this is fun. This is good. This is like replenishing, because I was trying to remember exactly what I did, and so I remembered, so yay. And I added some more stuff. So I'm glad that you all enjoyed. That makes me happy. Yay, welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna switch over to the mic at the end. We're gonna make another song together, and it really goes along with the topic we're talking about today. Artists gotta art. So yes, it's not grammatically correct, I know that, but real quick, let me switch over my mic. Yay. All right. Yeti. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If so, let me know, please. But either way, I hope you guys are yeah, it was bad. It was pretty bad. Yeah, it was bad. I was sad. And I literally got up and I was like, you know what? I need to go lay down. I need to like process these feelings and then come back to it again. So that's what I did. I laid in the bed. I scrolled Instagram for a little bit. And then I came back. So here we are. Yay. But it's okay. So the hope is that, I don't need these right now, but the hope is that more songs will come, because if God is giving me songs, then it's like, okay, if you want me to make the song, God, you got to give me back the songs, because I don't know what it sounded like. Okay, cool. Wonderful. You guys can hear. Awesome. Yay. All right, so artists gotta art. So this talk was actually inspired by Kaylah Creative. If you don't know her, please check her out. She's amazing. She's a visual artist. I could actually just like pull up some of her art. But either way, like she's an artist. And so I was watching her live on Instagram yesterday. And it's funny because this is something I wanted to talk about for a while, but I was like, oh, I don't know what to talk about jumping back in. Oh, also, welcome everybody. I took a month off. In June. Just to rest and to relax and to chill and to just do nothing. And I didn't succeed at doing nothing, but I did very little. So I'm very proud of myself. But yes, I'm back and I'm happy. I was really burnt out and I just really needed like time away. And I think we all as creatives need that time to just kind of replenish ourselves and just like refocus on why we're doing the stuff that we're doing in the first place. So yes, and also it's Creative Girl Summer. I know it's cheesy, whatever, but this summer and the rest of this year, I want to make all the stuff I want to make. So yay, so welcome. All right. So artists gotta art. So Kaylah Creative was talking about how we consume a lot, like through YouTube or Instagram, and how we don't spend enough time creating, right? We spend all this time taking in tutorials and all this other stuff, and then like we can kind of trick ourselves into thinking that we created. That was her stance on this. And so I was like, oh my God, like this is something I want to talk about. So I'm going to talk about it. All right. So as someone who struggles with depression, I know that sometimes it can feel laborious to just create something, to make something and to put it out there. But what I do find is that when I create, I feel better. Like I just feel better. I think there's something about the human experience about making things. I think we're supposed to be making things, right? So even back in the day, like building houses or like, making babies, I don't know, like, making things like with our hands and like being proud of that work that we do to make the thing. I feel like sometimes in this culture, it's a very consumption-based culture. I don't know if that's like the correct saying, but I really do feel like a lot of times in this culture, we consume way more than we create. And we wonder why we feel backed up. We wonder why we feel listless, why we feel like we don't have any purpose, or why we feel depressed. And so, yes, depression is a complicated issue. But I know for me, sometimes I can feel like, dang, I haven't made anything in a long time. Maybe that's why I'm feeling the way I feel. And not making something to sell, not making something, for someone to judge, really just making something for myself. And so there are times when I'm really depressed and I come back to my music and I make it and I sit there and I just sing, right? And I sing about it. And, I have a song called Sing, and it's just about that, right? About depression and how God gave me the song in my sleep. And it's like, just sing. If you can't do anything else, just sing. And so singing to me, and for you, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's writing or like painting or spending time with your friends or just like creating community, creating food. I know for me, like singing is like salve, right? Like it's like salve to like the soul when I'm feeling depressed. So the first thing I want to say is like, sometimes you just got to make stuff because it makes you feel better. As a creative person, and I believe, you already know, I believe that everybody is creative. And as creative people, we must create. We have to create. I feel like God created us to create, like literally. It's on signage everywhere, right? These t-shirts and stuff, created to create, but it's true. And when we're not in our purpose, when we're not creating, we feel backed up, we feel worthless because we're supposed to be making things, right? And so, again, it doesn't have to be to sell. It doesn't have to be, to be the next Picasso. It could literally just be like, oh, I made a meal today. And like sometimes that is healing, that is therapeutic. And so, yes, and I also feel like when we create as creatives, that's how we find our voice, right? Like it's very easy in this consuming culture to look at everybody else doing all the things, going back to school, right? They mastered it again. Shout out to Marcus. They mastered it again. We're looking at other people creating businesses, the art that they're creating, and we look at them with admiration, but then it can easily turn into envy. It could turn into like, oh, dang, like this person is winning and I suck. My life sucks. And I don't want to create anything. Everything I touch turns to trash. And so I'm not going to create it. I'm not going to put it out there. But really, when we focus on creating more than we're consuming, as in like taking in stuff, as in watching other people do things, we start to find our own creative voice. And so our own creative voice is not going to look like this person you admire. It's not going to look like the person next to you. It's going to look like you. But you have to find you by cutting off all the noise, as Minister Kim says, putting on the blinders, and just going all in on what you're creating, because that's the only way that you're going to find your voice and your talent and your purpose, your worth. So, and your worth is not tied up into what you create, but your worth exists beyond that. And once you start creating for yourself, you'll find your worth, if that makes sense. Also, it helps you build confidence as an artist. Again, when you're creating, the only way to get confident, the only way to become brave is by creating, is by doing the thing that scares you. I know a lot of people, again, I have this theory about fear. I don't think that you should punch fear in the face. I think that fear is your friend. I think that fear wants to protect you. It wants to keep you safe. It remembers what you forget. It remembers like the trauma, of someone rejecting you. It remembers your uncle or auntie going out there and trying for their dreams and people talked about them behind their back, right? And so fear is like, I don't want you to experience those things. And so I don't want you to create, right? Because if you create, you're vulnerable. It's risky to put your stuff out there for other people to judge and for other people to see. But the only way that you can really build your confidence is by doing what's scary. Like literally, that's the only way to do it. Like, again, it's just like going to run a marathon, right? If I'm in no shape to run a marathon. I've said this before, and hopefully next year I won't be saying this again, right? But I'm in no shape to run a marathon. And so if I were to get out there and, sign up for a 5K, I'd probably get sick. I'd probably pass out or something because I'm exactly. Yes, confidence comes in the doing. Exactly. But if I were to get up there and like try to run a 5K, I'd probably become ill. I might need paramedics. It'd be very embarrassing. But if I took small steps every day, like walking first, right? Getting up off the couch, walking around my neighborhood, then maybe doing like a slight jog, right? And then like building up to long distance running, because that takes training. Like it's not the same as sprinting, right? Like long distance running. Then maybe later on next year, I'll be able to do a 5K. So with your fear, the only way to become strong enough to be courageous is by taking small steps every single day to become more courageous, and therefore in the same kind of way become more strong, right? So it's like fear. I appreciate you. I love you. However, I got to still do this thing. I have to still do this thing because it matters to me. It matters to other people. And I'm not going to die. Like, again, I'm not going to die. Yes, it might suck if I put my music out there and somebody says, oh, your music is trash. Like, I'll probably cry, right? Especially if it's a friend. But I'm not going to die. The fear is trying to keep me from dying. I'm not going to pass, right? It would just suck. Shelby says, hi, Shelby. I'm loving this, just like your podcast. Great content. Oh, yay. I'm glad you're enjoying it. What? Yeah, that's wonderful. This is my first time back in a month. So I'm a little stressed, but it's okay. I'm having fun. My husband was joking with him. I was like, I'm so nervous. And he was like, you're nervous every time you go live. And then like halfway through, like you become you. And I'm just like, okay. So I feel like I'm in that kind of stride now where I'm becoming myself. Again, just like the fear, right? Like, yeah, I'm afraid, but like, is what I want more important than my fear, right? Is what I want more important than being safe, and being safe as in like playing it safe? Is what I want more important than it? And I believe it is. And so if I think that it's more important than this, fear that's trying to protect me, then I have to do what's right for me. I have to make a sober decision. I have to make a sober decision in my right mind, right? Like not full of fear, not full of worry and stress, but really be like, okay, what is the worst that could happen? Like literally, what is the worst that could happen? Somebody says no, somebody doesn't like it, nobody sees it, nobody buys it. I'm trying to think of like different scenarios. I'm outed at like, oh, she thinks she's creative. She thinks she's cute, right? And it's just silly stuff like that. Like, yes, that stuff can happen and it does suck. But again, what I want is worth more than what they have to say about me, if that makes sense. And it's easier said than done. But again, take small little baby steps to become more courageous. And so, again, sometimes the reason why you lack confidence as an artist or you lack confidence as a creative or whatever you're doing is because you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. Like, and I don't mean doing enough like you should be busying yourself. I mean doing enough as in you should be getting practice in, right? Stephanie Perry, if you all have heard of her, she talked about this recently in one of her lives about like, get your reps in, right? Get your reps in to become more courageous. And I feel like we have to do the same thing as creatives. And I have notes, that's why I'm looking down so I can stay on track. But yes, my husband had this thing where he told me to be prolific. Be prolific beyond trying to be perfect. Be prolific, meaning, and prolific just means like you're just creating a lot of art, a lot of work, a lot of content. And so the only way that you can get better is by being prolific, right? If we, again, like you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So just think about this, right? So kids, you know, when they first started, I used to play basketball when I was younger. I wasn't the best. I was a center and I didn't dribble. So, you know, I don't have all the tips and tricks, but I knew enough to be able to be on a team. So I guess because I was tall. But either way, there are practices that you do when you're not good at something, right? When you're not good at something, your weak spot, you're supposed to do more of that so you become better at that skill, at that thing. And so for me, it was dribbling. And I hated dribbling. I hated it because it was just embarrassing. I was tall. I was awkward. And it's just like, you know, people are watching you. And because you're taller, like the spotlight is on you. And you're like, like people can see me messing up. But I had to learn hand-eye coordination. Like in order to be a good basketball player, I had to learn hand-eye coordination. And so like my coach at the time, he was very nice. He was very sweet, Mr. Ferguson, Coach Ferguson. He was telling me to keep doing this practice, right? And so no, when I was dribbling, it wasn't perfect, right? Like it wasn't perfect. It was very messy. It was very sloppy. It was very embarrassing. And but because I became prolific, I became better, like good enough to stay on the team and dribble with my dribbling. And so for you, maybe it looks like something else, right? Like maybe for you, it's, I don't know, maybe it's singing, right? Maybe if someone has told you that you don't have a good singing voice, like that's a whole thing. But the more that you practice, the more you keep putting stuff out there, the better you become. With these lives, I get nervous. I sweat every time I get up here. And it's so frustrating because I'm waiting for a time where I'm not nervous and that just does not happen. But I have to be prolific anyway, right? If I want to get my message across, I have to be prolific. I have to keep creating stuff. And so if the focus is on being prolific, as in getting stuff out there, then in turn, you know, naturally I have to become better. The more I do something, the better I become. And my better might not look like other people's better. My better might just look like a better me. And we might be going two totally different directions. But because I'm going in my way, I become better at being myself, right? So again, that goes back to the comparison thing. Like, yes, it's good to admire other people, but comparison can sometimes get in the way and cloud your own judgment of yourself. But we really have to give ourselves room to be prolific. So Jamal CP says that importance comparison between fear and what you want is real. It is real. It is real. Like, are you going to let fear win, or are you just going to like, and again, it's not the enemy, but are you going to let fear drive, or are you really going to make the sober decision to go for what you want in your life? You know what I mean? Yes, because you care, you get nervous. That's true. That is very true. When you care about, that is so true. Thank you for that. Getting nervous really does just show that you care, because if I didn't care, I'd be like, whatever. Hey y'all, it's me. I'm just here, you know, like for whatever reason. But yeah, I think because I do care and I want my message to get across and I want to make sure that people are getting the message, it does make me nervous. And because I care about, I love singing and I love my craft. And so I want to make sure that what I'm doing actually, you know, comes off good. So yes, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So one thing that I want to say is sometimes you need like you need to fast from taking in stuff so much. I feel like it's like eating, right? When you eat a lot and you don't exercise any, you become like sluggish and like burdened, and sometimes you gain weight, and sometimes you just feel like, ugh. Like me and my husband had burgers yesterday, and or I had a burger, he had chicken, excuse me. And sometimes when I eat that burger, I just feel so like, why did I do that to myself? Because because it's so heavy, it's so meaty, and it's so cheesy, and we're trying not to eat meat anymore, but here we are again. But either way, when I'm not exercising, I feel it. When I'm not getting enough energy out, I feel it. And I do gain weight. You know what I mean? And so I feel like the same thing happens for creatives and artists. When we take in a lot of stuff, but we're not putting out stuff, we start to feel burdened down. We start feeling like heavy. We start feeling, we don't have motivation, or we lack motivation. We feel like lazy or tired. We make excuses. And so when I go in like a binging, like eating, I feel sluggish and tired. I'm like, oh, what's the point? Like, what's the point? I just ate a burger yesterday. Why even get up and walk? I'm not going to walk off those calories I just ate. And I feel like for artists and creatives, it's the same thing. When we're not putting out enough work, when we're not doing our own, when we're not being diligent over what we're supposed to be doing, right? We start to feel it. We feel sluggish. We feel tired. And we feel like, what's the point? What's the point of putting stuff out there? Look at such and such. They're doing it better. Look at all these other people. They're doing wonderful things. Is this chicken? Yes, you had chicken. Jamal had chicken. But yeah, like we look at other people doing wonderful things, and we're like, oh well, I might as well just put my thing away because y'all don't need it, right? It's just gonna be more noise, or it's not as good as this other person's thing. When we really just need to keep putting out stuff. Like, yes, it's okay to take in stuff, but sometimes you just need to fast from stuff. Give your mind and your heart time to heal from being compared to other people all the time. Like, just think about like a kid, right? And and we're carrying this kid around and we're saying, look at that person. That person's better than you. This kid has better grades than you. This person is smarter than you. They're more creative. They're prettier. Whatever, like whatever way that we compare them, right? This kid would be beat up. This kid would, probably be kind of depressed. This kid would feel like, again, what's the point? And some kids like being bullied like this every day, like they take their own life, unfortunately. And so when we really think about that kind of stuff, when we're talking to ourselves the same way, ourselves hear ourselves. Like we hear ourselves, right? Like we hear, even if it's not a kid, if it's a person, if we compare our friend to other friends all day, your friend is not going to want to be your friend no more. Why can't you love me like this person? Why can't you be like this person? You're not funny like this person. But we talk to ourselves like that all the time, and we don't think that it's going to have a negative impact on us. That doesn't make any sense. Just Be, hi, says, I forget who I heard this from. It may have been Chase Jarvis or one possibly a guest he had on a show. Try to create something before you consume. Yes. Absolutely. I 100% agree. To that point, right? Like when we get up in the morning, the first thing we do for a lot of people is look at their phone. They check their email, they check Instagram, Facebook, whatever, Twitter. I know that's one of my things. I go to Twitter because I use that as news. I know it's bad, but you consume stuff first thing in the morning. You don't even have time to really like check in with yourself and really be like, how do I feel this morning? Like, what is God saying to me this morning? What is my body saying to me this morning? What do I need? Like, we're so worried about consuming what other people are saying that we don't even know what we're feeling or saying in the moment. And so, yes, to that point, I agree. The first thing you should do in the morning is create something. So, I mean, in the morning, I try to, and I don't do it all the time, I try to journal. And I journal first because it gets all those, like, heavy and burdensome thoughts out of my head so that I can actually think clearly. I talked about this before in Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Check out the book if you haven't. She recommends doing morning pages. And so that means for 3 pages, you just write. You just keep writing. Just keep writing. Don't stop until 3 pages are ended. And so again, in the 3 pages, you might say, I don't want to be here. I hate doing this. My hand hurts, blah, blah, blah. But you're getting all that noise out of your head. And so I feel like in the morning when we wake up, there are so many worries that hit us first thing in the morning, right? Like there's so many things like, oh, for some people who have kids, I got to get the kids ready. Oh, what time is it? Like you're just discombobulated. And so we really don't ease into our day. We jump right in. And so sometimes when I log onto Twitter, there's a mass shooting, or there is, someone who has passed, or there is funny stuff on Twitter because, Black Twitter is hilarious, and there's so much going on that I really check. Did I pray? Did I journal? Did I check in with myself? Did I brush my teeth? You know what I mean? And I really feel like it's really important, like you said, for us to create before we consume. And that could just be getting stuff out of you. And also understand with social media, I'm sure y'all have experienced this, like you'll be on social media and then like 3 hours have passed. I'm exaggerating, or maybe I'm not for some people, but hours have passed and you haven't done anything for yourself. I also believe Kaylah, when she was talking about this, yes, just be morning pages, yes. She was saying that sometimes we take in other people's content and we reproduce what they produce. Like we're not doing it on purpose, right? We're not trying to rip off other people, but it's still like, oh, this inspired me. We pick up inspiration all the time. Like there's this book called Steal Like an Artist because all artists steal. I'm going to do a whole other video on that because it's true. But we take up inspiration everywhere. It could be from another artist. It could be from our parents. It could be from a teacher, whoever. Like we take inspiration from the clouds, whatever it is, and we reproduce this into art. But if we're not careful, if we're consuming other people's stuff all the time, their thoughts become our thoughts, right? Their art becomes our art. We start singing like other people. Like just think about like how you developed your own art or your own creative practice or your own, ways about you, your mannerisms, right? When I'm around my friends, we reflect each other. We laugh how each other laughs. Like we use the same words each other uses. There are inside jokes and stuff that happens naturally. So that's naturally going to happen when you're taking in other people's content all the time. You're gonna adopt their sayings and their phrases in their thoughts. And if you're not careful, you'll create art just like that person. You know what I mean? And so some people are similar, like naturally, but sometimes that similarity is really coming from taking in too much stuff from other people. So we really have to be careful about that. So yes. Okay. So we need to stop trying to be perfect and be prolific. Create as much as you can. It doesn't have to be good. It could be trash. Like there are some loops I do on this thing and I'm just like, well, that was utter garbage, but I feel better. Like, I feel good. And again, like, let me talk kindly to myself. It don't be utter garbage. It's just not something I'm feeling, or it might not go right. Or for people who have been here before on these lives, there are sometimes I do a loop and I'm like, yeah, I ain't really like that. I was struggling the whole time, and that's okay. Like, it's about trying. And so because that one, I didn't like it, I'm one step closer to something I actually do like. So don't count yourself out if you make something. I thought it was raining. Don't count yourself out if you make something that isn't to your liking. Just keep creating. And stop binge watching and scrolling and go create something. Make something, make anything, right? And again, I have this candle kit in my living room that has been sitting there for months. And every day it looks at me like, girl, like, what did you buy me for? I'm just sitting in your living room. And I think for me, like the problem is like, well, what if I make it and it's not good? I'm a recovering perfectionist, y'all. And so I really need to take up more hobbies that are just hobbies and not something that I'm going to judge myself on. So I want to make a candle. I'm going to give candles to my friends and teas and all that good stuff. And so if I take the pressure off of it, it makes it more fun. But yeah, finger paint. I finger painted recently. I think I showed y'all before and it doesn't look good. Let me actually show you. I'm going to show you since we're here. But it doesn't look good. It's not, it's not a Picasso. It's not a masterpiece. I said this before, but yeah, this is my finger painting. This was me trying to be a child again because I couldn't remember how long it had been since I finger painted. And look, I love it though. And I hang it up because it reminds me like to live, to have fun, to be a kid again. Like don't miss out on the life that you're living because you're too busy trying to be an adult, like, and trying to be perfect. Anywho. But yeah, I think sometimes it's important to take up hobbies that aren't for anybody else to see but us. Jennifer, sorry. Please, I'm so sorry. I keep saying Jennifer and I'm like, wait, no, that's not the right person. Okay. But it says, OMG, I know for me, I'm not even in touch with my own voice. How do I get in touch with my sound, my voice? Ooh, that's good. Okay. So first of all, I think sometimes to get in touch with your own voice, you need to like just be quiet, right? Like I feel like really just like follow small things. So there's a few things I'm gonna recommend, right? So the first thing is just like be quiet, right? And I say that because again, our world is very noisy. There's stuff to listen to all the time. You're here, right? You're here. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. You're here. You're listening to me. There's the news happening. TV's on. Podcasts are on. There are videos on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram. There are numerous things, you know what I'm saying, to take in. Like you're not lacking in any entertainment or distraction. And so I feel like sometimes it's good just to get quiet and just to sit with yourself. And that could just be like, you could be journaling. I feel like that's a really good skill, like a really quiet skill, or a really quiet practice. Journaling, sometimes stretching is good. And I know for me, sometimes I don't like to be quiet. So I have to like force myself to be quiet. Sometimes I just go lay on the bed. Like what I did today, I just laid on the bed and I just like looked up at the ceiling and really like follow your thoughts and see where your thoughts go. Another tip I would have is just to keep making stuff. Like again, so journaling is a really good idea, but really like just get in the habit of making things like without the influence of other people. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope what I said makes sense. But yes, I think sometimes we feel like we have to find our voice or our sound, but really it's just buried underneath a bunch of noise. It's buried underneath a bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and so in order to get to our voice, to our true selves, we have to unmask ourselves and take off all this heavy stuff that we've like accumulated over years and years of living. Like simple things, right? Like my mom didn't like Chick-fil-A growing up, right? And so her voice became my voice because that's my mom. And so I think she said that Chick-fil-A made her sick one time. And so from that point on, I didn't eat Chick-fil-A because I'm like, oh no, Chick-fil-A is going to make me sick, right? And then I realized I ain't never tried Chick-fil-A. I never tried Chick-fil-A for myself. And once I tried, it's been a journey. It's been a struggle trying to get off. But it was good to me, right? And so I feel like that's a small example. But really think about like, what are your beliefs and why do you believe them? Where do those come from? And some stuff is not as obvious. Some stuff I feel like is like, oh, this experience. Like if I ate bad sushi from the gas station and I got sick, then I'd be like, oh, I don't like sushi, right? And so like you might believe like, oh, all sushi is bad until you try sushi from a different place. You know what I mean? So I feel like some experiences that we have influenced how we think of ourselves and think of other things, and have influenced how we speak, what we communicate, what we believe. And what we believe comes out in what we say and what we do. So I feel like that's what I'm trying to say. I hope that makes sense. Brandon, hi. Theme parks are helping me tap back into my inner joy and play. Going to Universal Studios this week. I am jealous. I haven't been there in like 12 plus. How old am I? Actually, longer than that. I haven't been there in like 15, 16 years. But it's a lot of fun. It is. Ride the Hulk for me if you like roller coasters. I do. And me and my husband realized we've never been to a theme park together, which is like, what are we doing? How are we married? But anyway, but yeah. Jennifer, please let me know if that makes sense, please. But yes. And so I want to get to this point of daily sketches, right? So this is the whole point of me saying this. I have been reading the book. I read the book by Austin Kleon called Show Your Work. And he has it's like a 3-book series. Oh, yay. Awesome. It's been like a 3-book series. And so one was like All Artists Steal, which is a great recommend. There's another one, and then the third one is Show Your Work. And so in Show Your Work, he's telling you as an artist to practice on stage. And Jeff Goins, if you follow him, he also wrote a book called Real Artists Don't Starve. He talks about this idea of practicing in public, like practicing on the stage. So, for example, when when artists, like comic artists, is that what you call them? Like comedians, when they're like, when you see them at their show, you think like, oh, they just came up with all those jokes and they went on the show. No, like they, shop their jokes around at different comedian shows, like smaller venues, right? And so it helps them to gauge with the audience, like what's really working, what's funny, what's not, what needs work. It helps them work on their delivery. And so if we were to wait on perfection, right, they would get up there like, people like Kevin Hart or, whoever. I like Dion Cole. He's funny to me. He's hilarious to me. So Dion Cole would get on the stage and just like tell his jokes, and half the people would be like, this is not funny, right? But because he did the work and practice beforehand, he did the work to really realize, oh, this is actually funny. This is what I'm going to do. And so he's doing the work of making himself vulnerable, practicing on stage, right? Getting over the fears and like the anxieties, or not getting over it, but working through the fears and anxieties. And really working on his delivery and his craft, because the only way that you can get better at your craft is by doing it. So artists have to art. They have to create for many, many, many reasons, right? But I think one of the most, if you're a performing artist or if you are trying to do something like teach, sing, be a speaker, there are smaller things that you can do to work up to that big stage moment. And so the idea is that you are practicing on stage. And so Austin Kleon calls it like sketches, right? You're sketching. So like an artist. I'm not a visual artist. I'm a photographer, so I guess I am. But anyway, sketches, like artists will sketch something out, get the idea down, right? And then later on, come back to it and perfect it. Come back to it and work on it like for real, right? And so I've seen this process with other artists. And I mentioned Kaylah Creative in the beginning, and she did the same thing. So they make a sketch, and it's not supposed to be perfect. It's just supposed to be an idea of something, right? Just like the bare bones of it, like the shape and stuff like that. And again, I don't have all the terminology. But then they come back to that sketch, and they really do it for real. And as creatives, we need to be doing the same thing. We need to do a daily sketch of whatever we're doing, right? So if you're trying to learn Spanish, watch a show in Spanish, right? Like that could be a daily sketch, something easy, something that can, have you to maybe take like half a step closer to your goal, right? It doesn't have to be like the whole step. Like, yeah, you don't have to take like a whole course in Spanish, but just watch a television show. Try to figure out what you understand, what you remember. what's appropriate, even in like different cultures and stuff like that. A daily sketch is important. For me, for singing, this loop station is perfect for a daily sketch because I don't have to like make it perfect. Y'all see, like sometimes here live, we make songs live, which we're about to do in a second. We make songs in real time because it really it's like, okay, I only had 15 minutes to do the song. So if that, maybe 5. And it depends on like the BPM of the song. But either way, to only have this much amount of time, I don't have time to get caught up in like the perfection of it. And I don't have time to get caught up in, oh, that didn't sound right. Let me re-record this. I'm stuttering. Re-record that. Like, no, it's about just getting the idea down, not worrying about being perfect. And so for you, I really want to ask you, like, how can you do a daily sketch in your own creative practice, right? Maybe for you, you want to write a book. Okay, well, journal every day. Journal. Or, take note of what you notice, right? Take note, literally, like write down what you notice in real life. Like the way someone laughs, like, if you're a visual artist, I imagine that you look at the curve of someone's jaw. Like if you're making a portrait of them, right? Just like sketch a little chin, sketch a little jaw. If you are a fashion designer, get some fabric and like, make small little pocket things or just like sketches of different designs that you have in mind. But I think as artists, we're so focused on trying to do the big fancy thing that we miss all the small steps leading up to it. And so daily sketching keeps us in practice. It keeps us lubricated, right? Creatively unblocked. It keeps us from being down on ourselves for being imperfect. And it keeps us like growing in our creative practice. So that's my tip, is just to have a daily sketch every day of whatever you're doing. I'm hoping to do the same thing. I'm going to be posting it just to be held accountable because it's very easy. Like, who said that? Just be. Yeah, like create something before you consume something. So in the morning, my hope is, okay, after I do my morning routine, after I walk and stuff like that, because it's been hot, after I walk, come back, shower, get ready, go straight to the loop pedal or go straight to my studio, right? Make music. If I am a musician, I need to make music. If I'm a singer, I need to sing. If I'm a writer, I need to write, right? If I'm a photographer, I need to photograph. And I realized I haven't photographed anything like for fun in a long time. And I really need to do that because like, the reason why I wanted to photograph stuff was to tell stories. I can't do that if I'm only taking pictures when it's time to take pictures on gigs and stuff like that. So I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Jamal CP says, I used to write 500 words a day to practice writing. That's perfect. That's a sketch. Exactly. Like it's perfect. And it doesn't have to be a continuation of anything, right? Like I'm sure you know that. I've read some of your stuff. But, maybe today you write flash fiction. This is the setting. These are the people. This is the scenario. Go. I'm writing prompts for songwriting. I actually have a 5-day songwriting challenge if y'all want to sign up for that in the description if you're a songwriter or just a writer, if you want to journal or like, do poetry, whatever that is. But prompts are really good for this because it gives you like the scenario. Okay, what is this? You have 30 minutes, just write about this one thing, right? That's a sketch to get your blood flowing, to get the creative juices flowing, and to help you work towards your creative craft. So I hope that makes sense. Now we're going to make some music and do a daily sketch. So if you're new here, welcome. I want to ask you, so I'm going to ask you all for your participation. If you can give me a number between, and this is about BPM, between, I'll say 100 and 130. 100 and 130. And we'll do a daily sketch together. And so why am I doing this, right? I'm doing this because I fear, one of my fears is messing up. One of my fears is failure. It's messing up publicly and being embarrassed. When people tell me that, oh, I like what you did, I automatically feel fear because I'm like, oh no, what if the next thing I do is trash, right? It's this fear of like having to keep up people's expectations of me. And so doing this daily sketch or doing this, live, in real time making songs makes it fun and takes all the pressure off. And like, y'all aren't here to like, I hope y'all aren't here to rip me to shreds. You're here to have fun too. So, and that's what I will also say, safe place. Make sure that you're in a safe place doing the thing. Because even I can't imagine being a comedian like in New York, like in the comedy circuit, because I'm sure they're ruthless. But yeah, like, in order to get yourself up to that point, share a few jokes with your friends. Like, oh, that's funny. You know what I mean? Like, and have them, if you want to, have them, if your friends are nice, have them give you some honest feedback. And I've done that with music for myself. Like, again, hey, I just wrote this song. Sorry, I'm setting this up. But I just wrote this song, and what do you think about this? You know what I mean? Like, and I literally send songs to my friends. Like, Marcus is here. Oh, hey, Marcus. Okay, Marcus says 120. Oh, Just B says 115. Okay, so we'll do 117? 118? We'll do 118 to split the difference. I don't even know if that's really the difference. But either way, I sent it to my friend first because my friend loves me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to be like, oh, you're garbage. This is trash. If they do think it's trash, I'll probably be like, I think you've done better. I think you can do better. You know what I mean? All right, so 118. Let me switch over the sound so y'all can actually hear what we're creating. All right. Can you hear me, friends? Am I clear? Am I loud and clear? I hope I am. All right, so y'all know I love reverb. So it's a little dry for me. Reverb. Okay. And this is 118. Okay. All right, so to start off the song, if someone could give me how they felt today. Like, how they felt today, yeah. And then we can make the sketch together and see what we create. This is fun for me. It's scary, but it's fun. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Jamal CP. That's my husband, y'all. Shout out to you. Sorry. All right, so yes, just how they felt today. And we'll see what, Lord, give us a song. As I always pray, Lord, give us a song. Okay. I mean, I could tell you I felt hot today. I'm just being honest. But yes. And then I'll try to think of a melody. And we'll build from there. Okay. It's summertime. Somebody give me a word, how they felt. I guess I'll go with hot, and then we'll see what you all write after the fact. I hope y'all can still see me. Okay. One word, friends. Anybody? It doesn't have to be. It could also be delay. Okay. Ooh, anxious. Oh, here we go. I felt like I had to rush trying to beat the time. Ooh, I felt like I had to rush trying to beat, so rushed, anxious. This is perfect. Y'all are on together. Loved. Oh, Shelby. That's awesome. Loved. Okay. Anxious, loved. Let's see what fun we can have here. Okay. Lord, give us a song. Time goes by and time goes by and I'm standing still. Let's make sure this is actually okay. Time goes by and I'm standing still. Time goes by and I'm standing still. I love you and I always will. Let's try that. All right. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Time goes by and I'm standing still. I love you and I always will. It might not make sense, but we'll just go with it. Okay? Here we go. Time goes by and I'm standing still. I loved you and I always will. Time goes by and I'm standing still. I loved you and I always will. Time goes by and I'm standing still. I loved you standing still. I loved you, and I always will. Time goes by, and I'm standing still. So slow, I love you, and so always will. So time goes by, and I'm standing still. So I love you, and so I always will. So time goes by, and I'm standing slow. So I love you, and I always will. So time goes by, and I'm standing slow. So I love you, and I always will. So time goes by, and I'm standing slow. So I love you, and I always will. So time goes by, and I'm standing slow. So I love you, and I always will. So time goes round again, and I'm standing. Come around again. So I come around again, and I always come around again. So time come around again, and I'm standing. Come around again. So I come around again, and I always come around again. So time goes round again, and I'm standing. Come around again. So I come around again, and I always come around again. So time come around again, and I'm standing. Come around again. So I come around again, and I always come around again. So time come around That was fun. That was fun. Shelby, nah, it makes sense because I still get anxious about it. Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes, absolutely. I'm gonna save this just for you. Just for you. Oh, Aileen, thank you. Please put this in replay. Oh yes, absolutely, I will. This will be in replay. Absolutely. Yes, I gotta go make sense. I need to listen to this again. Thanks so much. Of course, thank you so much. Marquita, thank you. Thank you, Marquitas. Jamayo. James Harvey, hello. Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. The Twins Puppet Show, thank you so much. Yay. Thank you, baby. Aileen, so good. Thank you so much. So yes, as you see, like, this was a sketch, right? Like, some of the words didn't make sense. Let me turn this reverb off. But some of the words didn't make any sense. Oh, yes, of course. But yeah, some of the words didn't make sense, but the idea kind of did, right? And so if I was worried about trying to be perfect, then I would try to like make this a legit song and like, oh, I need to write a verse. I need to figure it out. But that would keep me from creating. So sometimes a daily sketch is just all you need. So I'll be sharing more of the sketches either here on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're watching, and on Instagram. You can follow me at Alicia Renice if you want to follow me there. But I'm going to be sharing some daily sketches to keep myself in like flow and creative flow. Also, I want to mention on Friday, I'm going to be doing a live, if everything goes well, technology-wise and everything like that, I'm going to be doing a live song writing session starting at 10 a.m. So it'll be probably for like hours. So if you can't make it at like, all the time, that's okay. But I really want to show writing a song from start to finish. So at 10 a.m., it'll be started there. So yay, I hope that you all are inspired and encouraged to go create, go make stuff, to go make a sketch, even if it's not perfect, even if it doesn't make any sense, even if nobody else will hear it or listen to it or see it, and to just create, because what? Artists gotta art. Artists gotta art. So I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, as always, I'm gonna shout everybody out for being here. Let's go back, because I appreciate your time and your love and your support. So Jamal CP, thank you, baby. Janefa, thank you. King Julian, Aileen, Winged Wolf 500, thank y'all so much. Kira, hi Kira. I hope I'm saying that right. Please correct me if I'm not. Barbara, hi Barbara. Shelby, thank you so much for being here. Marcus, yay. Making sure I get everybody. Just B, thank you so much for being here. Shout out to y'all. Brandon, thank you so much. Thank you so much. The Twins Puppet Show, thank you so much for being here. Also, check out the Twins Puppet Show, please. Marquitas. James Harvey, thank you so much for being here. Aileen, thank you so much for being here. I think I said your name, but even still, you can say hi twice. So thank you for being here. Aileen says, can you share the tools you're using? Yes. So the tools I'm using. So actually, it's So I have this toolkit for DIY musicians in my description as well. It has all the links to it. But essentially, my loop station is called a Boss RC 505 loop station. It's made by Roland. So Roland Boss RC 505 loop station. The mic, it's just a mic I got from, Guitar Center, to go with this. To stream, I use StreamYard. The mic that I used to talk into is a Yeti microphone. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. That's up here. It's in my computer, of course. Oh, also my camera. So I have a camera sitting across from me too. So yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. But yes, if you download the link in the description, if you follow the link in the description, it'll take you to like the list of the resources and stuff that I use. So you can follow along. So yeah. I hope that answered your question. But yes, if nobody else has anything to ask or say, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening to me and sketching with me. That was fun. And I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll be back here on Wednesday and Friday, and I will see you all soon. Keep loving each other, keep creating, because what you create, it matters. You matter beyond that, and I love you. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good evening. Yay.